Hello lads, this is Rauta to be reviewing some old school death metal. This band comes from all the way from United Kingdom, has existed since 2010, and this is their second release from 2014. This one is called Penthos, and the demo, not an album, is called Lifeless Haze. So let's unbox this a little bit. As you can see, this one is not a CD release, but a tape release actually. But for technical reasons, sent me as a CDR, which just says Penthos. Not much to look at really. Here is the tape covers. As you can see, not very accurate work, a little bit unaligned and all that stuff. It says old school death metal here, which kind of I think gets delivered through these images here, the cover on the back and all that stuff. You can see the track list is over there, and all these promo copy, whatever label information, and that's what really is there is to it. No lyrics whatsoever and anything else. So Penthos is a death metal band and saying play old school death metal. Now this takes me back to early 90s or even late 80s. Not only because the riffs are really old-fashioned and the album is kind of at the pioneer age of death metal, that being the kind of a first wave or even proto death metal. Not even maybe possessed, but you get the idea, I hope. The thing is that not only this band is creating music that is kind of old school, but the whole production, the sound works on this album or tape is really old-fashioned, and this time I don't mean in a good way, because this actually sounds like it was recorded in a rehearsal place, and maybe it has been recorded there, and that makes this tape kind of a crappy. But the most important thing is these songs are not even mediocre, not at worst anyway. The thing is that basically this music is just very typical stuff back in the early 90s or late 80s, and that is kind of a, how to put it nicely, not very innovative death metal. That is kind of like recycling the material from so many second or third class death metal acts back in the day, but now only with really crappy sound. Now, if this wasn't recorded in 2014, I could just imagine in my head that this is some long lost, pearl, kind of a classic cult thing which was recorded some 30 years earlier, and now this is finally found its way on the tape. But being a 2014 release by a three-man band who it seems have just put very little effort in the songs and the production, this sounds like a waste of time in my opinion. At best, this album is kind of a mediocre, and the songs are like, well, okay, they are not quite alright or good in any way, but just like, yeah, I can live with it, except that when they are just repeating those bad riffs to a point that I just want to eject the whole CDR from my player, then it gets really boring. So this is rather a bad release than a mediocre one. I honestly cannot think anybody, except maybe for a kind of a collector of sorts, who this might be interested in this kind of stuff. Kudos for creating this kind of old school vibe covers, but unless you're really into the covers, just give this one a pass. This is a bad release. That's all from me. Thank you for watching, and as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it so far, and like always, more stuff coming your way. See ya.